For more on this, so we're now joined by Ronald February, who is the chairperson of the Northern Cape Communities Movement, and he joins us via our video link. Ronald, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Perhaps let's start off here. Maybe if you can just tell us about NCCM and basically how you came about as movements in the Northern Cape to form one umbrella political party that will contest the elections.
Thank you very much for having me. I think the Northern Cape Communities Movement, like the report explained, came together as community movements within our local municipal government districts. And what we've done is to say that we have to do our part, not just to change our communities, but to actively play a role provincially as well as nationally. We believe that the true constituency-based model is one that is based on the direct participation of communities within a provincial and a national level also. So what we've done is we've visited all our community movements that participated in the 2021 elections. You will know that the Northern Cape is the one province where a quite high number of municipalities is currently in coalition. In Thembelihle, in Siyathemba, in Siyanguma, in Namakwa, and you can name the others in Kariaburg Civic Movement. So we all came together and said we need to keep that number in terms of votes that came in 2021. We must find a way to, get that vote to mean something to us going to 2026. And we do realize that, we get as local parties, we get no support from the fiscus. We get no support from the Treasury, and giving our votes to provincial or national parties at this stage will just bankrupt us again for 2026 to do even better. As the Siyathemba community movement, we get 39.5% of the vote in 2021. And we are working hard to make sure that we are ruling as a community within the local municipal space. So that is why it's important is for us as community movements to have that breathing space come to 2026 and to make a difference on the local sphere by being a little bit more competitive.
And what is the importance here of having a political party like this nature, especially that is represented by various communities where even community members know exactly who the leaders are?
What we are saying is that we want to eliminate politics in the affairs of our communities. So what we've done is we have made sure that we've eliminated, for instance, your conferences, which brings leaders up together and, pile leaders onto each other. So what we've done is we've set in our constitution that we want every municipality within the Northern Cape, that's 26 municipalities, to be represented by a community movement. They have a direct seat on the highest structure in the executive. And the executive seats, the top 5 seats, will constantly rotate between the districts to ensure that we don't have a situation where we always have to compete in terms of who's leading the organization. Secondly, what we've said is we want to encourage our communities, to work hard and to receive constituency funding where they can serve the communities better. At the moment, we know that in a provincial national elections, every vote has also a rand value to it. Every vote can also help a community to get better. And currently, you don't see that in communities. People vote for political parties. They never put up a constituency office. They never come back to serve the people there in terms of what they need, year on year. All they get is a t-shirt and that's where it's end. And we want to be able to serve our communities, locally. The fact that we are autonomous means we don't have to compete each other. We don't have to interfere in each other's business in terms of the local space. And then we collaborate, to help each other, not just serve locally better, but now on a provincial and on a national level. I think unlike what political parties tried, to bring themselves together in what we know now to be, the Moonpack and other type of coalitions, there's nothing that binds them really. Here we are bound by one constitution. We are affiliated to that constitution, and we respect each other in terms of where we have to work in our local communities.
And why did you see, as a movement, the need to come together and to form this sort of pact in the Northern Cape? You know, was it because of the sheer problems that you face as a province, you know, when it comes to service delivery issues, that there is a need to put a face to who represents the community?
Yes, that's at the heart of it, Katie. But what we also need to understand here is the Northern Cape communities, for the first time, you know, were able to create a coalition government. We're not saying that, you know, we are sitting with a government that's failing. We are saying we are sitting with a government that has been ruling alone for so long, and they have failed in their job. So our goal is to make sure that what is happening in our municipalities now, where you have coalition governments, you have more than one person, you know, or more than one party that talks to each other in terms of what needs to happen. We believe the country is at that stage now where we need to have co-governance. We need to have, you know, not the one powerful guy that oppresses all others in terms of their decisions, which we have been seeing, you know, for 30 years. When they want to do something, they don't need anybody else or anybody to confirm with them what they need to do. We believe that going forward, you know, coalitions is the way to go, and we want to do our part to make the Northern Cape a coalition government. The ANC came to 50.5 in 2021, and we are saying if we are going to remove that piece now, our contribution to bring them to 50.5, then we're never going to see a coalition government. We, for instance, took members from the DA that don't want to associate with the ANC, or vice versa. You have ANC members that don't see themselves voting for the DA. But through the community movements, they can collectively now, as a community, you know, help the Northern Cape to bring a coalition government, you know, into existence. And we think that where there is a co-governance, you know, where there's more than one, then the Northern Cape will definitely benefit from that. And there will be more prosperity for us in the Northern Cape. So we want to do our part. We also want to give our communities an opportunity to talk to the things that matter to them. You will know, for instance, the Northern Cape is the biggest producer of green energy. You know, 69% of all the bed windows is in the Northern Cape, but you don't see that. In terms of minerals, you know, we don't have a voice because we are, you know, 1.7 million here. But we own 31% of the land in this country, and you've never seen, you know, an extensive engagement with our community. So what we want to do is to bring our communities together to say to them, this is your resource, this is your land, and you need to have a way of speaking to these things, you know, on a provincial and a national platform, where now the voice of the people in the Northern Cape, you know, is suppressed by political parties and everyone looking at what is the national goal, you know, for their parties.
All right, Ronald, thank you so much for your time. Unfortunately, we lost the connection there in the end. That is Ronald February. He is the chairperson of the Northern Cape Communities Movement, just telling us about those various community forums and movements that have come together under one umbrella and will contest the elections collectively.